Hi all, today we are doing something, a brand new war game, and it's the alpha playtest rules for Warpath. Anyone know this is the upcoming sci-fi game written by Lesso Calvator of Lord of the Rings and 40k fame, as well as Kings of War. This rules will be released by Mantic with its own set of miniatures. But because I'm a paid member of Beasts of War, I got access to the alpha playtest rules, which I'm playtesting now, and we're using the only two lists of it, which is Forge Fathers, which is like squats, space dwarves, but we're representing them with Space Marines, versus Marauders, which are orcs, represented by orcs. We're doing a 1,100 point game. So I'll go through my army, which is a section of rifle grunts with a 2-bit. Is that 2? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 2 BFGs. A standard grunt platoon, which is like that's like shooty orcs, hand-to-hand combat orcs with 2 BFGs. Another rifle grunt with 4 BFGs. A battlebot, represented by this War Machine Jack, and also I've got a jet which will be represented by a GW Valkyrie model. And then over at Ian's army we've got a Firewim represented by a Predator, a platoon of Steel Warriors represented by Attack Marines, a Scrappy unit represented by, now what are these models called?
If I can remember.
The Blood Angels, aren't they?
Yeah, they're the guys that are meant to have wings splaying out their back of their jet.
Oh, Honour Guards. Sangari Guard.
Yeah,
that's it.
The one.
That's right. It shows you how long we've been in the GW world. And then we've got an Iron Ancestor, represented by a Dreadnought.
Yeah. A
venerable Dreadnought at that. And then we've got another 20-man unit of Steel Warriors, represented by Space Marines. Now we'll go through how the game works. We'll go through one whole turn, and you'll see me activate one whole squad from start to finish, so you get a good idea of the rules, and then you'll just see us finish off the game like a standard bat rep. But there's a few things you need to know while we play the game. Is squads are actually counted as one model. Casualties are not removed. They accumulate damage markers, which when you roll on your nerve, and then they decide if they run off the board or stay in the match. So whole unit only counts as one model, and all references for range are taken from the sergeant or a BFG, which is an anti-tank or an anti-personnel like heavy gun, and they fly independently from the squad, and you obviously reference from that model. Yeah, that's basically the crux of it. So we'll just going to see who gets first turn, and then you'll see us activate the unit from start to finish. Rightio, so we've got to the end of my turn. Lo and behold, no real shooting for the orc player. Basically, I'll just go through what I've done. It shows the unit that was here, the rifle grunts. They'd win on the double, so they moved up into that building. So yet again, all I did was measure the range to him. And as long as you keep your heavy machine guns within 5 inches of him, it really, technically to the rules, it doesn't really matter where the other guys are, as long as you make an effort that they're in some form of coherency, so I can splay them out all over the building. As you know, they doubled up. My battlebot, he's got a rule called lumbering, which means he can't on the double, so he only moved 6 inches forward. And then the squad that was here moved up into that building. And because my fighter doesn't come on in turn 1, and so I'll go through the rules if I get him on turn 2. So yep, that's the end of my turn, and now we'll move on to Ian's turn. Okay, it's Ian's turn now with his Forge Father, so we're just going to talk you through how the turn works for it. Okay, so here's his unit, and you're going to move
6 inches forward.
So you're just going to do a standard advance.
Yep.
So as you say, he's measuring from his sergeant, so if you want to move him forward, mate.
Yep. There.
It's one of those games where, as I say, you like me.
Trays.
Yeah, movement trays are kind of nice. You know, especially if they make some sort of nid list. I mean, it's going to be. borderline essential, but you know, if you're not into the movement tray thing for your sci-fi, it's not really an issue. So I take it you're going to shoot with this unit, yeah?
Yep.
Rightio. So first we're going to do your standard small arms fire, which is if you want to check the range for me.
Yep.
Let's get a better tape measure. Oh shite.
Yes.
Alright mate, if you're within 12 inches it's only a -1 because you did the advance. If it's over 12, which it is,
yep,
it's going to be a -2 in your shooting.
It is 22 inches.
Right, so you're a platoon, and you've got your fire stat dictates, so you've got your RAN, which is your range, and then you've got your fire, which is how many dice you do, which in this case is 40 dice. Nice. So if you want to grab that, one more dice, yep. Grab 40 dice, and your standard to hit roll, which is on there, which is your to hit stat, is 4+, because you -1 because you move, it's to your dice roll, but we'll add it to the stat. -1 because you moved, and -1 because you're over half range, so it's 6s to hit.
Right, okay. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right, while you're counting that, I'm just going to get the sheet for the stats for the grunts.
8 hits.
8 hits out of 40.
No, 2 more dice. 10 hits out of
10
40.
hits, so that's alright. So we've got then a grunt platoon, and when you've done your hit to hit, you roll to wound, and the roll to wound on this is 4. Now, have they got any rule like piercing or... No. So yeah, it's just 4s, mate, to wound.
1.
1 wound. Cool. So I'll just put some indicator. I mean, this is where obviously, like, if you had like all casualties and stuff like that, it will look really cool. But that's it. It's just a 1 wound. So then I've got to take a nerve check. If you can chuck me a dice, mate. And this is basically morale in this game is your health. And you know, it's morale and health put into one, and it's called a nerve. Anyone familiar with like rule sets like black powder or anything like that would be, be pretty familiar to this kind of rule. I think Hail Caesar and black powder use this rule. So it is. I roll 2 dice. I add how many of my casualties, my damage marker there. I add how much I've got there. And if I get, and then I'll reference that table, and anything from steady, which means they do nothing, wavering, which means they can't move or shoot, to damaged, which if it's infantry means the whole unit's dead, or if it's a vehicle, it loses its movement, or destroyed, you know, whatever it is, it's gone. So roll the dice. I've got 6, 9, 10. Which is just, oh no, sorry, no, that's 10, but I take away my nerve. That was good, I remembered that one. So I take away my nerve, which is 8, so it's a result of 2. So 2 or less steady, which means orcs are cool. They've weathered that. And that's basically the fire combat in the game. So we've gone through, so we've gone through fire combat, movement. So if hand-to-hand combat or the aircraft come in, we'll go from there. Okay. Oh, we might as well do the BFGs actually.
Oh yes.
Show your BFGs work. So we've got an anti-tank one.
Yep. But that can't see your tank.
No, but you can still fight the infantry.
Okay.
So it's a heat cannon. It's got a range of 18. Is it in range?
I would say probably not from it.
Nah. Alright, you got one hailstorm cannon, haven't you?
Yep.
Yep, that's got a 36. So long as you've got line of sight, you're in.
Yeah.
And what is after 30?
Yep. It must
15. If it's, and it's not within 18, so it's still going to be 6s. So it's 5 dice, mate, and you need 6s. But it's hitting on piercing 2, so you only need.
No,
nah. But if you did hit, because it's got all piercing 2, means -2 to my defence, so it'd have only been 2s to hit. So yeah, that's basically a activation in a nutshell. So we're just going to go through the rest of Ian's turn, and we'll tell you how he's gone. Right, we thought we might as well show you as well, because armoured units have their own like slightly different rules as well, which is they get a different movement because unlike infantry, they can't turn as much as they want. Depending on how far you move is how far they can turn. So they're a little bit less manoeuvrable than infantry. So you're choosing, mate, what was it to do?
Manoeuvre.
Manoeuvre, which is basically you move up to 12, and at any point during your move you're allowed one up to 90-degree turn. So if you want to do that for us, mate?
Yeah. Measure from the front of the tank.
Yeah, which, you know, wherever you measure it's wherever it finishes.
Move up to 10 inches.
Yep.
Turn to face there. And move the remaining 2 inches.
Right, and then we'll sort out shooting, which is just, regardless of what tank, how it moves, it can even move full speed ahead. It still gets its shooting, regardless, which I like. And we're just going to now resolve the shooting, but you know that works, so we'll get back to you. Okay, Ian has now finished his turn with his Forge Fathers, so we'll just quickly go through it. As you know, they advanced, shot, done 1 point of damage, which I passed. The nerve test. Then the tank moved up, fired, missed with his heat cannon, which is the las cannon on this, and then the 2 bolters, which are known as auto cannons in this game, fired and did a further 2 points of damage. Again, I passed the nerve check. Then they went on the double, that's right, wasn't it?
Yep.
That moved. It has a rule called lumbering, so it cannot go on the double. And then this unit went on the double as well. And yep, that is basically Ian's turn, so we'll get back to you on my turn. Okay, that's the end of my turn too. Just talk you through what I've done. I think they fired, didn't they? Did 1 point of damage on them.
Yep.
Passed them around. That unit here went on the double, so didn't shoot. He fired, did absolutely amazing. I got something like, wasn't it,
4 points, I believe.
Yeah, which was basically 5 sixes, or 4 sixes, and then I managed to get all those wounding. So I did 4 points of damage on that unit over there, and then they fired, and between all the machine guns and infantry fire, they did a further point of damage. So that unit took 5 points of damage, but is still passing its morale checks. And I rolled for my jet. My jet didn't come on this turn, so I won't talk through the rules of that. So yeah, that's the end of my turn 2. Okay, this is Ian's turn 3, and it was a bit of a painful turn for me. The unit that was there, he just stood and opened fire, so that's 40 shots hitting on 4s. He did 9 points of damage on it. I rolled, I fluffed it up big time, they were destroyed. The tank moved up, unloaded everything into this building, which had my unit of rifle grunts. Exactly the same thing happened again. He'd done a ridiculous amount of damage on it. I fluffed the rolls and they are gone. And you then move them up, and these kept on moving up there to try and take a whack at him, and they moved up, fired the heat cannon at him but missed. So yeah, I've only at the moment got 2 units left in game, plus my jet when that comes on, so it's not looking too great for me. Right, may the gods be praised. I got my jet in play, so I'll just talk you through how jets work, because it's really nice, really cool, really simple. Basically, they have to come in reserve, and the way reinforcements work is from turn 2 onwards, you have to roll the dice for the unit you want to bring on, and you have to get equal to the number of the turn it is or less to bring them on the board. So because this is turn 3, I needed a 3 or less, I got a 2. So my jet comes on in play. And the way they work is they can be placed, their movement is they can be placed anywhere on the board, and then they do their shooting. Okay? And then in the following turn, once they're placed, does their shooting, Ian does his turn. When it comes back to my turn, all I'm allowed to do is remove him off. Right? That's the representative gone and doing another pass. And then the following turn of mine, I can bring him back on the board, and in anywhere else on the board I like, and he does shooting again. That is it. It's that simple. So I'll get back to the end of my turn. Rightio, it's the end of my turn 3. So basically what happened was my jet came on, fired into the tank, done 1 point of damage, passed his morale, and then the battlebot moved to there, open fired. I think done 2 points of damage on it.
Yeah.
On them, and then this unit there took all their fire and concentrated on that, which knocked it up to 5 damage. So hopefully we can get rid of those sometime soon. And yeah, still not looking too great for me, but I think I just managed to put a little bit of hurt back. Right, we're going through Ian's turn, and Ian's charged at the battle bot, and because he's got so strong that standard hits can't do it, we're going to talk you through basically a melee and how special weapons like power weapons work in this system. And the way it works is they are extra dice. You buy it into your unit. One of you guys has to represent, right? But it's just an extra 2 dice to the combat in the unit that has to be rolled separately. So heat, you've got a heat hammer, which is an extra 2 dice, right? So we're not going to bother with the others because his standard melee attacks will not hurt that. So we're going to do this. It's 2 dice, mate, and it's 4s. You got 1 hit, and it's crushing strength 6. My defence is 9, so that's a 3+ to wound. What's that, mate? 2? 2. Oh, bugger. So he held on. So obviously no one have to do melee rolls. But we just push that a little bit out now, because nothing stays in combat with this. You can freely move out of combat. And yeah, we'll get back to the end of Ian's turn. Righto, as you can see by the upturned wrecked plane, this turn didn't go too great for me. Basically Ian busted up the aircraft with his machine gun BFG, which is quite embarrassing considering I got a roll of 11 for his nerve. The tank moved up. This unit, as you know, charged but did no damage. This unit advanced and opened fired and managed to make this one wavering. Basically means I can't move or shoot for 1 turn. And that's it. So it's pretty much a victory, but we're going to just play it out for my last turn. Sorry, for another whole round, and we'll see how it goes. Rightio, that was my turn. Because they're wavering, I couldn't do anything with them for this turn, but he moved up, did a round of combat, smacked him a bit, did a point of damage, he rolled his nerve, and they got a wavering, so they pegged it that way. They've backed off for 1 turn. And we'll get back to the end of Ian's last turn. Rightio, that's the end of the game. Basically, he shot up, done another wavering result on them, so even if it went on for another turn, they wouldn't have done anything. I could see that pattern repeating until they're destroyed. And between the BFG and the tank crossfiring, they done 2 points of damage on him, but he still managed to keep in. So yeah, BattleBot done well. And that's the end of the game. So yeah, I hope you've got a good idea on how Warpath's going to work. We played it. I like it. My only verdict is it would be nice if there was 2 forms of cover. Because at the moment there's only 1. So that's it. You get 1 minus modifier to hit if you're in cover. Oh, it would be nice if you had light or heavy. I don't know. What are you feeling? Or
it works well as it is at the moment. But like you say, Adam, some people might like it with 2 types of cover.
Yeah, what's your personal? You bothered about it really?
I'm not bothered at the moment.
No, see, I am. Ian's pretty on a win with this game. Yeah, we really enjoyed it. Really like it. Can't wait for the full rules to the polished rules to come out. And I'm definitely buying Marauder's Army. Hopefully a winning one. And I'll catch you all guys later.